MINDIA, Mind of India.
Until about, say, 100 years ago, there were wild cheetahs roaming in the forests of India, but recently they were all hunted into extinction, and that's how the Asiatic subspecies, which is actually found in India, is now no more and is extinct. Kunop National Park is a vast park located in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India. It is about 6,800 square kilometers in area, and in this park there is a plan to reintroduce cheetahs in this year, where the cheetahs are coming all the way from Africa. There are two subspecies of cheetahs that are found in the world today. One is the Asiatic cheetahs that are found only in the Iran at the moment, which is in the wild, and the other subspecies is the African cheetahs found across southern Africa. The subspecies of cheetahs that were in India are called the Asiatic subspecies, and there are historical accounts where some kings in India had cheetahs as captive animals to help them in their hunting trips and hunting adventures. And that's how all those cheetahs that were once in India went into extinction. The cheetahs that are going to come into India are not from Iran. The reason why we are bringing in African cheetah, according to the government of India, is initially they did try seeking those cheetahs that are in Iran, which would have been like the Asiatic cheetahs, which are very closer to what India had before. But Iran decided not to part with its cheetahs because there are anyway they have very few cheetahs left in Iran as well. And India had no choice but to look at Africa to bring in those cheetahs. All over the world, introduction of wild cats has been never done. So if at all India successfully does this would be the first project where there is a reintroduction of wild cats in any part of the world. So there are a few people and tribes living around the Kuno National Park, and some of them have this relationship with the wild animals living around them. They have been living there for generations, and some of them are tribal communities as well. I think one of the things that the government as well as the park officials as well as people should be aware of is the fact of how introducing the wild cats, which are carnivores, will affect them, if at all they do. Like what happens if they stray away from the park? What happens if they predate on their livestock? So adequate compensation measures and awareness monitoring and inclusive participation with the communities living around the national park can go a long way in helping cheetahs with a successful reintroduction, successfully thriving, as well as making this whole park their home. But what we should keep in mind, or rather the forest department should probably know about this, is one, how introduction of wild cats will affect other cats that are around in this national park. The second thing that they have to think about is the food sources. According to a report that was prepared in 2009, the number of antelopes are good enough for the incoming cheetahs, so that should be a good food source. Right now, if we Indians have to go watch cheetahs in the wild, we have to go all the way to Africa. The government hopes that with the cheetahs coming into India, especially in the Kuno-Palpur area, a lot of people will now then flock into this national park to watch cheetahs in the wild, and that will boost the livelihoods, tourism sector with all the people living around this national park. Whether that really materializes or not depends on how successful cheetahs are in the park, adjusting to conditions in the park and thriving with increasing numbers and increasing their chances of reproducing.